The old man stood at the edge of the grocery store parking lot, gripping a worn paper bag like it was the last thing holding his world together. Cars passed by without slowing. People rushed in and out, eyes fixed on their phones, their lists, their lives. No one noticed him. Except one person. And that small moment, so easy to ignore, so simple to miss, would set off a chain of kindness that would come full circle in a way no one could have predicted. Before we begin, take a second to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. It really helps the channel grow and continue bringing you meaningful stories like this one. Now, let's get into it. Emma Carter had always believed in being kind, even when life didn't make it easy. At 32, she was juggling 2 jobs in a small town in Ohio. By day, she worked as a receptionist at a dental office. By night, she waited tables at a diner just off the highway. Her life wasn't glamorous. Bills were always due. Sleep was always short. And lately, hope felt like something she had misplaced. That evening, after a long shift at the diner, Emma stopped by the grocery store. She moved through the aisles slowly, calculating every item she placed in her basket. Milk or eggs? Bread or cereal? It was always a quiet negotiation with her wallet. As she stepped outside into the cool evening air, she noticed him. The old man stood near the cart return, shoulders slightly hunched, his clothes clean but worn. His eyes moved from person to person, not begging, not speaking, just watching, as if hoping someone might see him. Emma hesitated. She had her own problems. Her own stress. Her own reasons to just walk to her car and go home. But something about him felt different. She approached him gently. "Sir, are you okay?" He looked surprised, like he hadn't expected anyone to ask. "Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm fine," he said quickly, though his voice carried a quiet strain. Emma glanced at the paper bag in his hands. It looked almost empty. "Did you get everything you needed?" she asked. He paused, then shook his head slightly. "I forgot my wallet at home. Didn't realize until I got to the register. They were kind enough to hold these few things for me." Emma felt a small ache in her chest. Without thinking too much about it, because thinking too much might have made her stop, she said, "Come on. Let's go back in." "Oh, no, I couldn't," he began. "It's okay," she said softly. "Really?" Inside the store, Emma let him pick what he needed. He was careful, almost hesitant, choosing only basics: bread, soup, a carton of milk. Nothing extra. Nothing indulgent. At the register, Emma paid for everything. The total wasn't huge, but to her, it wasn't nothing either. The old man looked at her with eyes full of gratitude. "Thank you," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "You didn't have to do this." Emma smiled. "I know. But I wanted to." He nodded slowly. "My name is Walter, by the way." "Emma," she replied. As they walked out together, Walter said something that stuck with her. "Kindness has a way of finding its way back," he said. "You may not see it right away, but it always comes back." Emma smiled politely, but deep down, she wasn't sure she believed that anymore. Life hadn't exactly been kind to her lately. Still, she waved goodbye and headed to her car, not realizing that this simple moment would change her life. Weeks passed. Life continued as usual, busy, exhausting, unpredictable. Then one morning, everything fell apart. Emma arrived at the dental office to find the doors locked and a notice taped to the window. The clinic was closing effective immediately. Financial issues. No warning. No transition. Just like that, her primary source of income was gone. Panic set in. Her diner job wasn't enough to cover rent, bills, and everything else. She spent the next few days applying everywhere: offices, stores, anywhere that had a now hiring sign. But nothing came through. Bills piled up. Stress grew heavier. Sleep became even harder to find. One evening, after another long and discouraging day, Emma sat in her car outside her apartment, staring at her phone, wondering what she was going to do next. That's when she noticed an envelope tucked under her windshield wiper. Confused, she stepped out and picked it up. Her name was written on the front. Inside was a simple card and a check. Emma's hands trembled as she read the note. Dear Emma. You may not remember me clearly, but I remember you. A few weeks ago, you helped an old man at a grocery store when no one else did. That man is my father. I can't fully express what your kindness meant to him or to our family. He told us about you that very night, and he couldn't stop talking about how one stranger made him feel seen again. My father has always believed in giving back, and he raised us the same way. When I heard what you did, I felt compelled to do something in return. Enclosed is a small token of our gratitude. I hope it helps you the way you helped him. Kindness matters more than you know. With sincere thanks, Daniel. Emma stared at the check. It was enough to cover her rent for several months. Tears filled her eyes, blurring the words. She sank into the driver's seat, overwhelmed not just by relief, but by something deeper. Hope. For the first time in weeks, maybe even months, she felt it again. Walter's words echoed in her mind. Kindness has a way of finding its way back. She let out a shaky laugh through her tears. He was right. In the weeks that followed, things slowly began to change. With the financial pressure eased, Emma had the space to breathe again. She found a new job at a community center, one that didn't just pay the bills, but filled her with a sense of purpose. She worked with families, helped organize events, and spent time with people who needed support. And she carried that moment with her: the grocery store, Walter, the unexpected kindness that came back around. One afternoon, while helping set up a food drive, Emma noticed a young mother standing off to the side. She looked uncertain, holding a small child close to her. Emma walked over with a warm smile. Hi there. Can I help you with anything? The woman hesitated. I wasn't sure if I should come in. I don't have much, but I wanted to help somehow. Emma's smile softened. You being here is already helping. She handed the woman a box to organize donations. As they worked together, Emma realized something. Kindness wasn't just about big gestures or life-changing moments. Sometimes, it was simply about showing up. About seeing someone. About choosing to care, even when it's easier not to. Months later, Emma found herself back at the same grocery store. This time, she wasn't stressed or rushing. She moved through the aisles calmly, filling her cart without that familiar weight of anxiety. As she stepped outside, she paused near the cart return. The memory came back so clearly. And then, almost as if the moment had been waiting for her, she saw someone standing nearby. A young man, looking lost, holding a few items and checking his pockets again and again. Emma felt a small smile form. She walked toward him. Hey, are you okay? Kindness isn't always loud. It doesn't always make headlines or go viral. Sometimes, it's quiet. Simple. Almost invisible. But it matters. Because every act of kindness, no matter how small, has the power to ripple outward in ways we may never fully see. Emma's story is a reminder that even in our hardest moments, we still have something to give. A kind word. A helping hand. A moment of compassion. And sometimes, when we least expect it, that kindness finds its way back to us. Maybe not in the same form. Maybe not right away. But it comes back. It always does. So the next time you see someone standing on the edge of their own hard day, wondering if anyone notices, be the one who does. Because you never know how far your kindness might travel or when it might return. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be part of a story that comes full circle.